I'm Melina and welcome to TableTok. TableTok is my new weekly show that will be focusing on trying different TikTok recipes. So for this week, for the first episode, I decided that I wanted to try an Mariko recipe. If you don't know who Mariko is, she has been kind of blowing up on TikTok with her iconic rice and salmon bowl, which is a combination of white rice with salmon and some sauces, and it has just been all over TikTok. And I figured that a lot of people have probably already seen it, so I decided I wanted to try one of her other recipes. And looking through her page, I found one of my favorite dishes, which is chili. So I'll put a video of Emily showing her chili recipe on the screen. And so one of the reasons why I want to try it was not only because Mariko has been just blowing up lately, but also in her recipe she doesn't use any beans in her chili, which if you've ever had chili before or made chili before, you know is kind of like a staple of it. So I was really curious to try out her recipe and see if it tastes good. So this episode will be focusing on trying her chili recipe, and I will be going through all the steps of the process with you, and at the end I will be discussing what I thought of the recipe and what I think of the dish overall. So stay tuned and let's get started on the recipe. First up, I chopped up some red onions, and to put the price into perspective, I shopped at Aldi and a multi-pack of these red onions was $2.15. So instead of using poblano peppers like Emily did, I couldn't find those, so I decided to go with green bell peppers, and a 3-pack of these cost $2.29. Next up, I mixed together all of the different spices, so we have cumin, chili powder, paprika, and some salt. For the can of crushed tomatoes, it was 87 cents, and the tomato paste was 44 cents. The ground beef was the most expensive part at $9.23, and then the bone broth was $3.29, and the garlic was something that I already had. First up, I coated the bottom of the pot with olive oil and added the onions to cook for a few minutes. After the onions had become softened, I went ahead and added the ground beef and mashed that up so that the onions and the meat would all mix together. I let the meat cook for a few minutes until it became brown, and then I added the spices and the peppers into the mix and mixed that all together. Then I added the entire can of crushed tomatoes, and I kind of eyeballed the bone broth because I wasn't sure how much to put in. And then I added the tomato paste, and after that I mixed everything together. After I mixed everything, I turned the heat down to low, which is more like 5 on a college stovetop, and then I covered it and let it cook for about an hour. This ended up coming out really good. I ate this all week long. The spice level was just perfect and so flavorful. So if you want to see what I have in store next week for TableTok, make sure to subscribe and pay attention for a new video next Monday. And follow me on Instagram if you don't to stay updated.